So tonight, it's all about making this holiday season feel good, calmer, healthier, more intentional. And everything we share tonight is practical, it's doable, and it's based on real life experiences, plus the metabolic science.
Let's be honest, the holidays are beautiful, but sometimes a little bit of a circus. Routines change, food is everywhere, people have expectations, our nervous systems get stretched thin. The season is joyful and magical, and it is overwhelming. And the truth is, these two feelings can coexist. You can love the holidays and still feel stressed. You can be excited and still feel pulled in 100 different directions. The holidays are basically a full contact sport for your nervous system. It's like, what? Food, travel, expectations, noise, routines, all of that impacts your metabolism, your hormones, and your stress response way more than people realize. So tonight is about supporting your whole self, your body, your mind, and your energy, so you can actually enjoy the season without feeling burnout.
So let's start with one of the biggest stressors that happen during the holidays, food. I want you to give I want to give you the most important mindset shift right away so you can release some of that pressure that you've been putting on yourself. Holiday food is not the problem. Let me say it again. Holiday food is not the problem. What is the real issue? Guilt. So, guilt is what creates this stress spiral. It triggers the cortisol, which is your body's main stress hormone. And when your cortisol goes up, your body responds in ways that work directly against you. It stores more belly fat, it ramps up the cravings, it throws your blood sugar all over the place, and it makes you feel out of control, even when you're trying to do your best. So, ironically, it's not the extra cookies or the holiday dinner that throws you off track. It's the shame and the self judgment that we have afterwards. When you beat yourself up for enjoying food, you're actually making it harder for your body to function smoothly and for your mind to stay calm. So, the season, it's not about being perfect, it's for awareness, balance. Give yourself permission to enjoy the moments that matter without punishing yourself just for being human. Once you remove the guilt, you remove the stress. And once you remove the stress, you're going to be surprised at how much easier it is to stay consistent, to feel better, and to bounce back after those celebrations. And you know what? I have a fascinating fact to share with you. Do you know that studies show that when people eat with guilt, their digestion actually slows by 20 to 30%,
Wow.
right? So when they eat, when they're calm and enjoyment and gratitude, the digestion actually improves and the appetite signals normalize and the cravings decrease. So your mindset literally can change your metabolism.
That's pretty amazing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some strategies that help your metabolism stay steady during the holidays and why. First thing is don't show up to a party or a dinner starving. Skipping meals before a party is like skipping gas before you go on a road trip. You're going to crash fast and you're not going anywhere. Your low blood sugar increases hunger hormones by up to 30% and decreases fullness hormones. That makes overeating almost guaranteed. When you skip meals, you think you're saving calories. It's actually blood sugar sabotage. Low blood sugar makes cravings stronger and willpower weaker. I used to do I'm going to save up my calories for the big holiday dinner.
It's the
And
worst.
then I end up at the buffet and I was eating like it was my last meal.
And we don't want you to get to that part. But let me give you another little tip. If that's what you end up doing is protein is first. Protein is your stabilizer. When you eat protein, it actually slows your digestion. It lowers your blood sugar from rising quickly from all the carbs, and it naturally reduces the cravings for later. So even if it's just 10 to 15 grams of protein before you go to a party, and this could be anything like some yogurt, a cheese stick, even if it's a few deli slices of lunch meat, that can prevent overeating and help stabilize your blood sugar.
And then when you get there, use the holiday plate method. You have your plate, put vegetables on half. In a quarter, use your protein. And if you're not huge on vegetables or there aren't healthy vegetables, increase your protein. It's going to make you less hungry. On the other quarter, throw in, some of the stuff that are your holiday favorites. For me, it's broccoli cheese casserole, maybe some sweet potato casserole. You're eating that stuff, but it's in a really small section of your plate.
Ah, great idea. Uh, and the other one that we want to share is slow down. There is such powerful research on chewing. Seriously. Go ahead. Guess how many times do you think that you normally chew your food?
I'd say 10
Okay, well, guess what? Experts recommend chewing your food 20 to 30 times per bite.
per bite.
Per bite. And that aids in better digestion and satiety. So, quite frankly, most of us only chew 5 to 7 times. But what the research has shown is chewing more helps to better control your blood sugar. It will help you have less bloating. It you'll feel that fullness sooner because that signal can get to your brain quicker, and that you'll also have fewer cravings later. So if chewing 30 times sounds a little crazy, you know what? Go ahead, start at that 10 or 15, whatever it is that you want to try with. But the biggest part is being aware of it, being conscious about it. And one tip to help make that a little bit easier is after you take a bite, put your fork down on the table. And it is a remarkable way to force you to slow down. So when you eat more slowly, like I said, your stomach can signal your brain that you are fuller and that you're satisfied, and it may help you from stop feeling like you need to keep eating more and more.
Yeah, I've heard that about putting the fork down, but definitely never about the chewing. But it makes sense when you're sitting there forcing food, da 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 da
Mhm.
da, your brain has no time to react.
Right.
We like to use a three bite rule. This one is pure magic. Desserts taste best in the first three bites. Well, basically, all of the taste comes in three bites. So your first bite is the taste. The second bite, you enjoy it. And the third bite, you appreciate it. Then pause. You can always go back, but the majority of times you don't want to. It's like you've been thinking about pumpkin pie all year. So you get that first bite, your second bite, your third bite. I'm good. I don't need to eat the whole piece of pie because I got out of it what I needed to get out of it.
Right. And you know what? It's the awareness part, right? Like that's that part that we're just not just keep eating just because
Yeah.
it's there. So intentional, right? So it's all about. So let's talk a little bit about another strategy. If you're going to a holiday party and they have a buffet, so when you walk in and you see a buffet style party, the biggest tip that I'm going to give to you is scan everything first. Don't grab the first thing that you see. So, what I like to do is I go in, if I know there's a buffet, I walk down the entire aisle. Now, listen, I try to go on the back side so that I can just really see what everything is. But if not, I like walk down, I just peer over people's shoulders so that I can see because I want to know what is in the whole buffet line before I start. Because if I don't, then I'm going to feel that I need to try everything because what if I don't like the things down at the other end, right? So the thing is, go and take a look and then choose two or three things that matter most to you. And then but you don't, a buffet is not there for us to try everything, to be perfectly honest with you. A buffet is there to give people options, not everything. And then, so once you have your food, make sure you move away from the buffet line and go sit at a table, sit with family, friends, or, wherever it is, because that's what it's supposed to be about. Because otherwise, those environmental cues of having that buffet right next to you can feel like this calling to come back and take another look.
Yeah, that's a great idea because I can see you're sitting there with your plate and then you see Joe over there grabbing something. You're like, ooh, what's he having?
Right.
What's Susie having? Ooh, maybe I need to go back and get something. But if you've already planned and you've seen everything, then you know what you want to eat. Another thing big on holidays is alcohol. Alcohol lowers your inhibitions, it raises your appetite, and it drops your blood sugar all at the same time. And this combination makes cookies that you would normally walk right by seem irresistible. You're like, oh, I'm starving. I need to eat this cookie. So, a couple tips for if you're going to be drinking, alternate water and drinks. Every other, have a glass of water. Choose lower sugar options. Have red wine instead of white wine. Have a vodka and seltzer instead of the sugary, fancy, Christmassy cocktails. And have protein before you drink. It really does fill you up. And try to set a two drink maximum if you want to stay sharp and not, then later reaching for the cookies or whatever there happens to be.
And I can tell you that alternating a drink with water is really, really, really helpful. Like that, it's amazing because not only does it fill you up, like it just helps keep your head clear and all that. So fabulous idea. Okay. But here you're at this party and say you do overeat. Remember how we started this? It's not about the guilt that we put on ourselves. So if you do overeat, do not punish yourself. Just say to yourself, time to stabilize. Let me hydrate. Let me move a little more. Let me get a good night's sleep because your metabolism will reset faster than you think when you support it. So we do this all the time, right? When we go someplace and we start to have a little bit more than we should, it's catching yourself, give yourself grace, and then work back through those tips that we all know of how to pull everything back in.
Yeah, instead of beating yourself up and be like, oh, I ate a cookie, so now I'm going to go just eat four more because,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Try to fit in some movement during this holiday season. Movement is your body's reset button. It calms your nervous system, it releases stress hormones, it boosts your mood, it lifts endorphins, and it clears your mental fog. And I don't know about you, but this time of year, I have a lot of mental fog. It allows you to shift from being stuck in stress and move on to recovery, clarity, and better function. A 10-minute walk after a meal can reduce your blood sugar spikes by 30%.
Wow.
Yes. Not a workout, not lifting weights, just taking a walk. And movement also increases your insulin sensitivity, which is the key to preventing cravings and energy crashes. And our family always does this at Thanksgiving. Christmas is a little too cold, but we have our big meal, we clean up the dishes, everyone puts on their coat, and whoever's house we're at, we walk around the neighborhood. Kind of gives
Fabulous.
you time before you move into, the second round, as we
Right,
call
right,
it.
right. Fabulous. I love that idea. But you know what? I'm from the north and I don't like to go outside in the cold weather. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas that when it's cold, dark, icy, going for a walk outside just doesn't seem like it's realistic to me. So some ideas that I would like to share. One is keep busy, like after you eat, maybe do the dishes, things like that. Might be playing on the floor with your kids or your pets. It might be doing, if it's not doing the dishes, maybe it's like straightening up a room. But hey, listen, God forbid, would want to spend too much time doing something like that. So set the timer on your phone for 5 minutes, 5 minute distraction that you're going to clean up a room. You can always turn the alarm off and continue cleaning if you so choose, but you don't have to do it that way. Um, if you want to go for a walk, you could go for a walk at a mall. Now, I know the malls are gone away, but there are still malls in certain places that we can go to, right? So, some indoor places. Um, if you're watching holiday shows on TV, you could do a commercial break movement. And what that is whenever a commercial comes on, you do exercise or some type of a physical activity. Sometimes it's like, okay, this next commercial, we're just going to do sit-ups the entire commercial. Or I'm going to do push-ups, and it could be regular push-ups, or it could be off the wall. but it's something to just start to keep you moving.
And it's a short time period. So
Yeah,
you're not like, okay, I've got to
time.
exercise through this whole movie. It's just right there in the
Sure,
commercial.
it's like setting my 5 minute timer,
Yeah,
right?
that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
One thing is when you're cooking, turn up some music and dance while you're cooking, right? I
We do
love,
that a lot.
yeah, it's fun. Um, Another thing is you can develop in your mind like a circuit, if you will. So if you feel that you need to add activity in, pick like three activities and say, okay, I'm going to do 10 squats, I'm going to do 10 push-ups, I'm going to do 10 marches in place. And it's just like those quick three activities for 10 times each, and that's it. But what it does is it helps to build that muscle memory so that when you need to do something that you can start to do it.
Yeah, that would be real short, real quick, not take any
Is
time,
that
but it's beneficial.
right? We're talking about these little things that can really make a difference. And then one last tip is when I don't know about you guys, but how many times that you have to bring something upstairs and you just kind of like line the steps, right? So, whether it's laundry, whether it's like just things that you're cleaning up, and we just line things up so that we can make one big trip up it. You have to save our steps. Well, I'm telling you, like, rethink that, reverse it. And every time you have to go upstairs, just go upstairs. Take smaller steps because you're getting intentional additional activities when you're doing that.
Oh, nice. So you're actually supposed to put away the laundry?
You are actually, yeah, for most people, it works well like that.
Yeah, I like getting it out. I like folding it, and then I sit it on a chair, and then my wife gets mad that it's sitting there and she puts it away. So, but now that I can get some movement out of it, maybe
You'll
we'll
be
try
fighting
that.
for it.
Yep. One of my clients created a movement bucket. She writes down all little things, like it may be the 10 marches, 10 whatever she likes to do. And she puts them in a bucket. And then when a commercial comes on during a movie, TV show, she reaches in, picks it out, and that is her activity that she does throughout the whole commercial. And
Love
that
it.
way it switches it up. She never knows what she's getting ready to do. It's something different every time, and it kind of makes it fun.
Love that idea. That's great. That could be a lot of fun,
Yeah.
especially if you have more than one person putting things in there. So you really don't know what you're
Oh,
going to
that's a
get.
good idea.
Yeah. And let's be honest, movement is also emotional regulation. It gets you out of your head and into your body.
And I want to emphasize movement is not punishment for what you ate. Movement is an act of self support, it's self care. You're taking care of yourself, not punishing yourself.
Agreed. All right, let's switch a little bit and talk about holiday travel and see if we can help give you some stress hacks so that we can help, to avoid all that stress. So, one thing is to start with your blood sugar in mind because holiday travel can mean long lines, it can mean skipped meals, and gas station snacks are calling your name. Your brain might say, we'll be fine, but your blood sugar is over there waving a red flag and begging you to make good choices. So, what can you do to prevent this? Have a small metabolic emergency kit. How's that? Have a little container, a protein bar, nuts, some beef jerky, maybe a packet of electrolytes that you can put in a bottle of water, and a piece of fruit. Because when you keep your blood sugar steady, you are going to feel calmer, less snacky, and way more patient with airline delays, slow relatives, or goodness gracious, somebody driving slow in front of you.
Yeah. Hydration is so important. You should hydrate like you're being paid to do it. Planes, cars, heaters, all of them dry you out like a piece of beef jerky. Dehydration means brain fog, cravings, and crankiness.
True.
So, some tips to help you with that. Drink 8 to 12 ounces of water before you leave the house. Keep a water bottle with you. The bottles we all carry, fill that up, carry it around. I know a friend of mine will walk around with her bottle in her hand because it's one less hand that she can grab snacks with. So if she looks at something, she takes a drink, walks around, and then if she's still thinking about eating that, she'll go back. And you had mentioned electrolytes earlier. Adding electrolytes to one bottle a day helps your cells absorb what you're drinking. And your mood and your metabolism will thank you.
I bet they will. And then another tip when you're traveling is move your body, right? You don't need to go to a gym, but if you're doing all this travel, you do need to get some movement in. So it could be something like when you're standing in line, you could march in place. Now, listen, to me, that would be a little awkward if I'm standing there marching in place. But what I can do is sway back and forth because for the years of all having my kids, I feel like I'm always rocking a baby on my hip. So, but just some type of movement. If you're on a plane, do like ankle circles, or you can like lift your knees and straighten and bend, like just doing things like that.
Yeah.
And if you're in a car, just start rolling your shoulders. It really helps to get that movement. And then, maybe a little bit obvious, but take the stairs everywhere you go. If you see stairs, and as long as you're not carrying a suitcase, or even if you are, depending on how heavy it is, go up the stairs. Movement lowers the stress hormones and it boosts energy. So it's easier than pretending that you really enjoy being shoulder to shoulder with strangers.
Exactly. Super important this time of year. Protect your peace. Travel stress is real, and other people's energy can jump on you like glitter. Oh, do not like some glitter. Suddenly, it's everywhere. So set some tiny boundaries for your brain. Bring headphones. That way, you can block things out. You're not hearing this person and that person, or if you're traveling with family, hearing everybody complaining or whatever's going on. Give yourself permission to take a walk. If you're at a big event, be like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just go out, walk around the house, do whatever, just be out, get some fresh air, and take 3 deep breaths before reacting. This
Good
is
idea.
huge for me. Your flight gets canceled, your flight gets moved, and you just start going nuts. Take 3 deep breaths, and you will react completely differently. Or say, I'll think about that when everyone wants to pull you into their drama. You don't have to attend every emotional argument that you're invited to, which this time of year is a lot.
It's true. And then another tip for you guys is sleep. Sleep like your sanity depends on it, because guess what? It does. Holiday travel usually equals bad sleep, but tired people crave more sugar and don't handle stress well. So, just some tips for when you're traveling. Bring a sleep mask. You don't know where you're going to be going or how much light is going to be in the room. If you have the opportunity, keep the room on the cooler side. I know this one might be hard for some people, but you should be without screens for at least 30 minutes before you go to bed. So make sure you put your cell phone down or be off your computer. And then sometimes some magnesium glycinate can help you relax. But even if you can get a little bit better sleep, that is really going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I thought the sleep masks were kind of goofy. I was like, these people, oh, fancy people wearing thing. It makes a huge difference. It really
A
does.
lot of research.
Yeah, especially when you're, sleeping in a different place than you normally do. The most important thing this time of year, I think, is setting boundaries. Without boundaries, the holidays and all your relatives pull you in 1,000 different directions. Think of boundaries as your guardrails. You put them in place to keep yourself safe, steady, and aligned. Not perfect, just in your lane.
When you're thinking about these boundaries, there's a lot of different ways you can look at them. And so, food boundaries is one, right? So, sometimes you need to keep some sayings in mind to help you with those boundaries. So, your responses may need to be something like, I'm enjoying how I feel this season. So, I'm being really intentional about my choices. Or, I don't want to overdo it. So, I'll pass for now. Or, how about I'm listening to my body today?
I
It
like that
looks
one.
it looks amazing, but I'm good right now. Or I'm focusing on what feels good to my body today. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. Can I take some home instead? Or, you know, just quite honestly, you can really just say, no, thank you, but thank you so much for offering.
Another way to set boundaries is on your time. I like to say, we'd love to come, but we need to leave early. We have a big day tomorrow. That way, you're limiting your time, you're limiting your stress, and you get home to get your sleep. We're keeping it simple this year. or just saying, we're choosing a quieter holiday this year. Or if you need to completely not go somewhere, we're unavailable that day, but we appreciate the invite. Thank you so much. These time boundaries help you stay in control of your schedule instead of your schedule controlling you. But Beth has a great way of knowing which invitations or commitments deserve your yes in the first place.
Absolutely, because you know what? If you want to say yes, it should be a full body yes. And that means that your mind, your body, and your energy are all in agreement. So when this happens, it feels easy, it's open, it's aligned. It's like your whole body is like, yes, I really want to do this. It fits.
Yeah, I love that you said that. Because for years I said yes with my mouth while my body was going, no, I don't want to go. I'd get the stomach drop, the tight shoulders, and I'd still say yes because I didn't want to disappoint anybody.
Same here. And you know what? Your body always knows first. So things that you can look for is your stomach tightening? Is your breath getting shallow? Does your chest start to feel heavy? If you feel those things, that's a full body no. Even if your brain is still trying to negotiate.
Yes, and especially at the holidays, right? Because we're trying to please everyone. You've got friends, you've got family. If you're, going home to where you came from, old friends, trying to see everybody. We pile events on the calendar. We say yes to the cookie swap, the Secret Santa, the fourth holiday dinner, and then we wonder why we're exhausted.
Exactly. And that's why when this tool can become like gold, it gives you that permission to check in with yourself before you say yes to something.
And it's fast. It takes about 3 seconds. You don't need a journal, a little meditation mat, or cushion, or a coaching session. Just ask, do I feel the expansion or the contraction now? The yes or the no?
Yes, because expansion feels easy. It's like energy. It might even feel like a little bit of excitement, but contraction feels like dread, heaviness, or pressure.
Yeah, let me give a real life example because this just happened to me last week. I got invited to a holiday dinner. My brain said, you should go, it's tradition. And my body said, no, you have too much to do. My shoulders locked up. I felt tired just looking at the text, like, oh, this is going to wear me out. It was a full body no.
And the beauty is that you didn't have to justify or explain it.
Right. Yeah, I just said, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I'm keeping things simple this year. And it felt great.
And you know what? That's the magic. A full body yes protects your mental health, your emotional health, and your metabolism. Because chronic stress from saying yes to things that your body doesn't want, it increases that cortisol. Remember, we talked about that. That affects your sleep, your cravings, your blood sugar, just about everything.
And we do not need extra cortisol this season.
No, ma'am. So here's your permission slip. If you feel a full body no, you are allowed to honor it.
And when you feel a full body yes, lean in. That's where your joy, your connection, and your good energy come from. And here's my favorite reminder: a boundary isn't about controlling others, it's about protecting your peace. When you say yes to everything, your nervous system never gets a break, it never gets a chance to reset. And chronic stress raises the cortisol again, disrupts your sleep, increases the cravings, and it drains you of all of your energy.
So you are going to receive in the mail, an email, the holiday sanity plan. So it has some great sections in there for you to read through, and it talks about like how do you want to feel? What are your non-negotiables, and what are some of the reset tools that you could use?
Yeah. Planning doesn't kill the magic, it actually protects it. And holiday travel doesn't have to break up your routine, your metabolism, or your mood. With these few simple hacks that we've suggested that cover kind of everything with travel, your food prep, your hydration, your tiny movements, your boundaries, prioritizing sleep, you can actually enjoy your holidays and show up as the best version of you that feels grounded, energized, and present. You deserve that. And
Mhm.
then your family gets the best version of you.
Yes. And remember, stress is your body asking for support, not discipline. If you feel overwhelmed, you're not doing anything wrong. Your body is just trying to protect you.
Yeah. So, in closing, we just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. We really appreciate your time, and we truly hope this helps you enjoy the holiday season more fully.
So thank you as well. And you're going to get the guide, the replay, and the holiday sanity plan tomorrow. I hope you have a beautiful, peaceful, and healthy holiday. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for coming.